Welcome to your own channel of Right Funda. Read the question. A uniform circular cylinder of mass small m and radius small r is given an initial angular velocity omega naught and no initial translational velocity. It is placed in contact with a plane inclined at an angle alpha to the horizontal. If there is a coefficient of friction mu for sliding between the cylinder and the plane, find the distance the cylinder moves up before sliding stops. Also, calculate the maximum distance traveled by the plane. Assume that mu is greater than 10 alpha. So let's see what are the keywords and how to think about this problem. Then I will be solving the problem. First thing is saying that first is the circular cylinder is there, number one thing. And its radius is given. Initial angular velocity omega naught, but no translational velocity. First, no translational velocity given, only omega was given. It placed in a contact with a plane inclined plane at theta to the horizontal. There is a rough surface there, coefficient of friction mu, sliding between the cylinder plane. Find the distance the cylinder moves up before sliding stop. There are two questions asking. Find the distance before sliding stops. Second thing is that calculate the maximum distance of the plane traveled by the cylinder. And question is the mu is greater than 10 alpha. This information is given. So from this information, we're getting a lot of information from this itself. So we'll be solving this problem and how to approach that will be discussing. This is a rough surface, and on this a cylinder of is given some angular velocity omega naught. So if it is given a angular velocity omega naught, then what will happen? There will be sliding will be there definitely, and no translational velocity not given. So there will be sliding will be there. So a friction force will act, and in this case a friction force act in the upward direction, and the friction force will be kinetic in nature. Kinetic friction force will act. And it is given that mu is greater than tan theta. From that we will get the information that what is this we can get? Mu mg cos theta. In this case the kinetic friction force is greater than mg sin theta. From this information we can get. So the force that is acting mg sin theta downward is lesser than friction force. So body will be going off. From this we can come to know. So what will happen? As the body will go up, its linear speed is getting developed. From 0 it will keep on increasing, and the omega naught will be keep on decreasing from omega naught to some other value. So after some time what will happen here, it will gain some velocity and its omega will change, and it will may satisfy the relation v1. After some time attain the velocity v1 is equal to r omega is suppose satisfied, and if this condition is satisfied, then we'll call it is a pure rolling motion, because bottommost point will not be sliding at that moment. So from here to here at this point the body has slided over the surface and it has attained the pure rolling conditions. It has attained the pure rolling. So first question is saying that how much distance will go off, suppose give the name S1, so that it will start pure rolling or to stop sliding. But after that, will the body will stop? No, the body will not stop here. Body will keep on moving up with a rolling motion, pure rolling motion. So till the time kinetic friction will act, after that the static friction will act here. The bottommost point contact velocity will be 0 always, but it will go up, but mg sin theta is acting downward. So after some time velocity will come to 0. So it is saying that another distance s2 it will be moving. So this is the maximum distance that will be traveling. S is equal to s1 plus s2. So we'll be calculating two questions I'm asked. One is to find the distance will travel before sliding stops, and second question, the maximum distance it is go, how much maximum distance will go up the inclined plane. So for this we'll be drawing the free body diagram of the block and we'll be solving. First let's solve the S1 part. If we draw the free body diagram, on this body there is a normal reaction will be there, and there is a mg will be there. I can resolve this mg into two components. One will equal to mg sin theta and another will equal to mg cos theta, and there will be a friction force, kinetic friction force, and Fk is equal to mu mg cos theta, because n is equal to mg cos theta that will be acting. So from this we can write the force acting on the body. Net force is equal to in upward direction, we'll write mu mg cos theta minus mg sin theta. From that f is equal to ma, you can write. So acceleration at any time will be equal to g time mu cos theta minus sin theta. So body will be going upward with an acceleration of this much. Similarly, on this body, once you got the acceleration, on this body there will be torque will be acting, and who will be producing the torque? In this case is the friction force there. So equal to R into F, R mu mg cos theta. This is the torque acting on this, and the torque is equal to I alpha, and I value will be substituting. This is equal to half mr square because the cylinder is there, and we can calculate the alpha to be equal to 2 mu g cos alpha by R. In this is in the of the inclined plane there, and this will be the R cross F. This is the R value, this is the F value, the R cross F. So it will be in the anti-clockwise direction. I can write the K cap, or I'll say that this is the anti-clockwise directions. Okay. So this will be reducing the omega. Initial omega naught was like this, it will be decreasing the omega. So we got the alpha value, and we got the acceleration of the cylinder of the incline. From these two conditions, we see that this is a constant quantity, this is a constant quantity. We can calculate the velocity of the cylinder at any point of time and the angular velocity of the cylinder at any point of time. We have that v is equal to u plus at and omega is equal to omega naught minus alpha t. So from this we can calculate after some time, suppose the v1 is the velocity there when pure rolling take place, and omega naught. So after any time t, we can find the velocity v1 is equal to g into mu cos alpha minus sin alpha into t. This is the velocity at any point of time till the time those friction force will be acting. And similarly, I can calculate that omega 1 is equal to omega naught minus 2 mu g cos alpha by R into t. So these are the omega at any point of time. This. And if after t time, suppose the pure rolling take place, then at that time v1 and this omega 1 must satisfy the relation this one, then only pure rolling will take place. So if we put this value of v1 here and omega 1 here and substitute, then we'll be getting the value of time after which the pure rolling will take place as equal to omega naught R by g times 3 mu cos alpha minus sin alpha. So after this much time, suppose I give the name t1, after a time of t1 of this much, then the body will transition itself from the sliding motion to the pure rolling motion. At that time, bottommost point of contact velocity must have been 0. This is the time. So we can find, once you find the time, and we know the acceleration of the block is known to us. So for center of mass, we can put the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square, initial velocity is 0. So half acceleration value I know, g into mu cos alpha minus sin alpha, they will calculated, and time we have calculated right now, and time square I will put omega naught square R square by g square into 3 mu cos alpha minus sin alpha ka whole square. If we simplify this, we'll be getting a value is equal to omega naught square R square into mu cos alpha minus sin alpha by 2g into 3 mu cos alpha minus sin alpha ka whole square. This will be getting the value of S1. This is the S1 value that will be obtaining. What is the S1 is there? S1 is the distance traveled by the center of mass in the up the incline before the sliding stops, or by the time pure rolling take place. So this distance, we got the answer of the first question that we obtained, that how much is the displacement or distance traveled by the cylinder of the incline before sliding stops. So we'll be going to the second question. And calculating. But before we go to second question, let's calculate what is the velocity at that instant when pure rolling starts. At that time, what is the velocity there? We can apply the formula v is equal to u plus at, or v square is equal to u square plus 2as. 2as formula, twice of a into s, under root of twice of a into s, that I can substitute and we can get the value of the V1. So either by applying V is equal to u plus T or s equal to ut plus half t square, s b square equal to u square plus 2as, we can obtain the velocity when the pure rolling starts to be equal to this much. And from that we can find the corresponding omega 1 can also be calculated by V1 by R. So this accepting this R. To solve the second questions, if you see after that friction force will not be acting, only the forces, that is the mg's ka component will be there downward. Friction force is acting here, after that friction force is acting, but friction force is static friction force. So pure rolling had taken place here. After that, as it goes, the friction force that will be acting is no longer kinetic, there will be static friction force, and static friction force value has to be calculated. But the friction force, though it will be acting, it will not be doing any work because the point of contact is not sliding over the surfaces. So from here to here, I want to apply the work energy theorem. The forces which will be doing work is the only one force, that is the gravitational force, and it is the mg sine theta, and it will be doing a work of minus mg sine theta into s2 from, and that work energy theorem I apply, that will be equal to change in kinetic energy. So if I want to write the change in kinetic energy, so I will be writing the equation minus mg sine theta work done by all the forces is equal to S2 is equal to change in kinetic energy is equal to final kinetic energy equal to 0, because at that time when it reaches the highest point, velocity is 0, omega also 0, because it is all the time pure rolling, V is equal to omega are satisfied, my velocity becomes 0, omega also becomes 0, minus the initial kinetic energy is equal to half m vcm square at that time, at the v1 square, vcm square plus half I cm omega square. That is the kinetic energy at this position. So the initial kinetic energy, final kinetic energy is this much, or I can write mg sine theta into s2 is equal to this value. I can write v is equal to omega r, I will satisfy this is equal to 3 by 4 minus 3 by 4 mv1 square. So solving this, I can V1, I know the V1 value we have calculated last page. So from this we will substitute this value. We can calculate the S2 to be equal to 3 by 4 into g sine alpha into here omega naught square r square into mu cos alpha minus sine alpha का whole square whole divided by 3 mu cos alpha minus sine alpha. So this the value that we obtain for the S2 value, that is the distance displacement of center of mass of the cylinder when sliding stops till the time it undergoes pure rolling motion and finally come to rest. So this S2 we have calculated. So S2 is this one. S1 earlier we have calculated. So if you make the S1 plus S2, we will be getting the total maximum height reached by the body of the incline. So if we substitute the value of S1, S2, what we have calculated, as you can get the total S maximum, that you can say the maximum distance will go up the incline. If we simplify this, we'll be getting the value omega naught square r square into mu square cos square alpha minus sine square alpha by this is equal to 4g sine alpha into 3 mu cos alpha minus sine alpha ka whole square. This we got the x maximum that the body will be traveling of the incline, that we can be calculated. This is our answer. So if we summarize that what happened in this problem is that initially the cylinder was given omega naught alone in a clockwise sense, a angular velocity and no translation velocity. Friction force acted on this and that increased the linear velocity in the up direction and decreased the omega. From this to this, sliding took place and we find out the velocity at this point when pure rolling starts. After the pure rolling starts, friction force becomes static, act in the upward directions, and again further it decreases the change the velocity and friction force in the upward direction, mg sine theta downward direction, net acceleration in the downward directions. That's why it will be velocity will be decreasing, omega will be decreasing. From here to here, it moves pure rolling motion. Friction force were not doing any work. From here to here, friction force were doing work. Gravity also doing work. But after that, pure rolling took place. Only gravity was doing work. From here to here, we again applied the working theorem and to calculate the S2. So total, we can calculate how much distance move with sliding and how much distance move in rolling. So total distance we calculated by adding S1 and S2 together.